There's no doubt about it that Emirates Airline is one of the biggest airlines in the world. From operating a large fleet to flying a considerable number of destinations, they've shaped the industry as we know it today and also the way we travel. But the story of Emirates began in the mid-1980s when there was only Gulf Air. The royal family saw an opportunity in the aviation market and wanted to stamp their presence, so they decided to start a small airline in 1985 using two Boeing 727s. The airline had great ambitions, and with the backing of the government, they gained a startup capital of $10 million and dry leased the 737 from Pakistan International Airlines. Now, PIA was very hospitable to Emirates, providing training to their cabin crew and simulator training to their pilots. This friendship resulted in the first flights from Dubai to Karachi, but just under 1 year, they were starting to add new destinations such as Colombo, Dhaka and Cairo to its network. The airline saw good and steady growth, which resulted in great profits. They took the opportunity to acquire two new Airbus A380s, and they used it for their first proper long-haul flight to London Gatwick by 1987. But it wasn't all sailing away in the horizon for Emirates Airline. Gulf Air was also a dominant force and gave the airline many headaches. Emirates had a mainly British management, including Tim Clark, because they saw them as having great wealth of experience and expertise, and they suggested that the airline should serve alcohol to appeal to more passengers, compared to Gulf Air, who did not serve alcohol and was considered a dry airline. In order to raise money, alcohol was allowed and they offered it to all classes. Now, Emirates Airline was stuck due to the lack of aircraft to take on new routes, and they ordered 7 new Boeing 777s which arrived from 1966. These aircraft allowed Australia to be served for the first time on a new service to Melbourne via Singapore. Everything was going well, but there was still one thing on their mind. They didn't have direct flights to either the US or Australia because of the distance involved. However, with passenger numbers growing by 20% a year, they had to solve this problem. And in 2003, they did, by acquiring 3 new A340-500s, which allowed direct flights to Sydney and New York. This became a crucial role of its strategy of allowing passengers in Asia to bypass the usual European hubs of Heathrow and Frankfurt, and instead fly direct to US from their hub. This worked very well for the airline. There was, however, an even better aircraft from Airbus, the A380. They wanted to be the launch customer and also have the largest fleet of the A380s. Well, we know they smashed that goal. Fast forward to 2003, and Emirates ordered 58 A330s and 26 777-300ERs at the Paris Air Show, bringing it a total of 71 aircraft. They followed this up in 2005 by ordering 42 777s and an order for 10 Boeing 747-800 freighters. However, the airline has a love-hate relationship with Airbus. The delays of the A380 caused Emirates to say that they were on the fringe of never ordering from the company again, and it was 2008 before Emirates flew its first A380 from Dubai to New York JFK. Airbus also paid $110 million in compensation for the late deliveries of the A380. However, Emirates continued to list complaints. Despite this, however, in 2010, they ordered an additional 32 A380s, bringing it a total of 90 super jumbos for their airline. With all this expansion, however, the airline needed more space at its hub in Dubai. Dubai International Airport's Terminal 3 was built exclusively for the use of Emirates at a cost of $4.5 billion, and is the largest building in the world by floor space. It opened in 2008, with an expansion to the new Concourse 3 in 2011 being exclusively used for the A380. The airline, however, have had their troubles. Passenger loads haven't been as good as expected to the US, and Emirates abandoned using the A380 to JFK for quite some time. Equally, loads to Australia have been poor, mainly due to the cramped Boeing 777 and the early morning flights to Dubai. As a result, one of the 3 daily flights to Sydney was suspended in 2010. Also, the relationship with Sri Lankan Airlines has also been very fragile, which is half owned and managed. In 2008, they walked away from the deal, selling the airline back to the Sri Lankan government because Emirates stated that the Sri Lankan government was seeking control over the day-to-day business of the airline, including regularly throwing off passengers to allow officials to travel without warning. The airline's management said no, so the government threw them out of the country. So all in all, the airline ranks amongst the top 10 airlines in terms of passengers flown and has become the largest airline in the Middle East in terms of revenue, fleet size and passengers carried. There's no doubt about it that their future will continue to grow and also further shape the industry as we know it today. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow captains, on the history of Emirates Airline. If you have any further information to add, then share it with us in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe for more aviation videos, and I'll see you guys very soon.